Hello and welcome to another episode of Garden to Table with Rose. So today I am doing my morning walkthrough in the front, and I'm just filming a mini update here on my plans going forward. It is August 2nd and it's going to be hot today, I think close to 90. So I'm not doing much work today, but I am planning a little bit of a renovation here that will take place next week because I have next week off work. So there are some things I want to get done before my spring bulbs come in the fall, to just make my load a little bit easier in terms of the work I have to do to get the garden ready to go into winter. So it is messy because I haven't been out here in probably a week, so things are in disarray. However, it'll be all rectified next week. So I'm standing here at my driveway looking down, and I am going to move this hydrangea out of here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a sublime hydrangea in there, beautiful green blooms. So it's kind of pressed up against the fence right now. My goal is to take that and move it out. So either I'm going to move it here, in which case I will have to dig up this echinacea coneflower here and move that as well somewhere else. So I may move it here because my goal was to have it kind of flank the end here. And then I have a big spot here where this pot is just sitting, so I may move the echinacea there. Or the other option is to just move the hydrangea there and leave the echinacea where it is. I am going to get rid of all the annuals. Some of them are still blooming nicely, but it's just time for them to go. So I'm going to pull all those out. And the annuals have overtaken everything else that was in the pots. There's a big boxwood in there. Well, it's not big, but it's a ball, and it's bigger than it was when I got it because they were very tiny. But anyway, that'll give the boxwood a chance to spread out a bit. Initially, when I put the boxwoods in there in the beginning of the season, they were so tiny that the pot kind of swallowed them up. So that's why I planted the annuals around them. So I'm getting rid of all the annuals that are in my pots where I have evergreens. So that's one of my goals, getting rid of annuals so these little pots are ready to go into storage. What else over here? I think that's all I need to really do over here. I removed the fountain that was here. I usually clean that fountain. It's a ceramic fountain. It's heavy. Usually I clean it about halfway through the season, disinfect it, and then I put it back. This year I'm not going to put it back, and the reason why is because it needs to be shellacked, or it needs a sealant on it again. I have to seal those ceramic ones because the sun just bleaches them terribly, like within a season, if you don't put some kind of coating or something on them. So I'm not going to set that back up. I'm going to pack that one away. So there is a spot here where it was sitting, so I probably will end up planting some fall bulbs or spring bulbs that I get in the fall in that spot. So again, annuals need to go here. These annuals, these all need to go. I need to get some sedum, and I have a bunch in the back in my window boxes around the shed, so I'll probably take some cuttings from that and try to root it in these window boxes, because as I've said before, I'm just going to fill them with sedum because nothing else wants to grow in those. I also think an animal is digging in at least that one, because I keep seeing the dirt all disrupted, and I don't even do anything with this box, so it's not me. So some kind of critter is getting in there, and that's probably why my stuff keeps dying. But anywho, I have to do my weed whacking as well next week. What else am I going to move? More annuals, little pockets of petunias. Those have to come out, definitely. I am going to label everything as much as I can with varieties pretty, on little signs so I can see it fairly clearly, so that when I do the next tour, I can actually identify a lot of the things by specific name that I tend to point out. But not know the specific name. I think I'm done finally trimming my fruit trees because the growth seems to have subdued. Finally, I'm trying to keep them dwarf size, and so it has been a constant process of trimming them back over the season. But this last trim, I don't see them. They usually just continue to grow crazily, and I don't see much growth happening, so I think they've slowed down. I don't know if you can see that over there, but that Saturn peach tree, yeah, look how red, deeply red those are. So I'm gonna come out next week and test and see if those are ready to be harvested. There are quite a few, even though they're tiny. There's a lot of them on there, more than enough for me. So this hydrangea, since I moved the huge daisy out of here, it's getting so much more sun, and oh my gosh, it's just growing rapidly now, and it has new blooms on it. That is beautiful. That is an oak leaf hydrangea, and I believe that is the ruby slippers. I'm also going to move these little hostas that are in places they're not supposed to be. There's a little one in there, and there's a couple over there by this little walkway I made. So those are going to move to on the other side of this bed, which is where there's a bunch of shade. Oh, look at this elephant ear. I just I'm in all of those things. I don't know why, but I guess it's because they're so big. Hydrangeas back here have gotten pretty big. Now they're actually standing up above a lot of the other things, and they are beautiful. I'm not sure which one that is, but I know that this is a puffer fish and this is a puffer fish, so I have two because they have this unique look. So I can generally tell those. They always kind of have this little, I don't know what you call it, these little sprouts sticking out of the top, so they look different. But I know that's some kind of panicle hydrangea there. I'm just not sure which one it is. Could be another moon rock. I have so many of those. Then the Annabelle, it has stopped putting on growth. It was growing like gangbusters as well. It is propped up because those gigantic heads there, which are as big as my head, are heavy. So, and of course I got to clean my fountains, get those refilled. What else do I have to do up here? I think that is pretty much it. I did hit the roses on the other side, which I do regularly anyway. Eventually I do have to dig up my rosemaries because they need to go inside. I'm actually going to take all those and put them in my grow tent. I think I have, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 scattered, and because I want them to get really big, and they don't overwinter here outside, so I need to take them inside. All of these petunias are coming out there and there. And in its place, I am going to relocate all the salvias and lavenders that I attempted to grow from seed at the beginning of the season. All of those are in the backyard, and so I'm going to put them all here, and they're all pretty much different shades of purple, the ones that survived. And maybe, yeah, I think they were all purple. I planted pink and purple and white, but only the purple ones made it. So I'm gonna move all those up here, which I think will be nice because it'll give some color, because these hydrangeas, are just basically green and white. There's a lot of white because then I have this yarrow, so there's a lot of white, so that purple will look really nice up here. And then these once these beautyberry bushes actually get some berries, which are supposed to be purple, I think that'll just look really good. And I am slowly but surely still harvesting the Lysianthus, which have just started to really take off. Oh, so beautiful. So I will continue. I have a few I have to cut today. I do use those and cut flower bouquets. They are annuals, so they're so pretty. I will continue to harvest those, and I need to harvest some today. The Buplorum, even though it looks pathetic, it's like all yellow and dying, I'm leaving it there because I wanted to reseed. So I need to let the seeds dry up and fall off, and hopefully I'll get more next year without having to plant them. This lamb's ear, Helen von Stein, I have to break up these clumps of it. I have 3, and they're getting bigger and bigger. They multiply each year, and I'm going to spread them around. I'm going to spread some of them basically over here so that there's more of this gray-green color over there. And then this little chive plant is some kind of allium type deal. It's flowering. It's pretty. It's flowering late. So I don't know, this might have been chives, like literally chives, like garlic chives or something that I planted, and it's flowering now, which is nice. And I think that's, other than deadheading roses, which is a constant job, that's all I really have to do over here. Oh, there's another one of the chrysanthemums has bloomed. Oh, look at this one. OMG. I don't know if you can see that. That's really pretty. The bloom is a little old now, but a little faded, but it's like a dusty rose. Very pretty. Okay, where was I? The Pinky Winky. Oh my gosh, the Pinky Winky has actually started to turn colors. This is the first season it's bloomed. I mean, I just planted those last year, so yeah, it's nice. This one has some blooms on it. That's another Pinky Winky. No, that's not a Pinky Winky. That's actually the Gatsby Star. And it finally has blooms. And look at it. Now that's why it's called Gatsby Stars. This is an oak leaf, but as you can see, the little buds look like little stars. OMG. That's so cool. Here's the other Pinky Winky, which all of the blooms on this one are white. So the other one is a little further along. And then this is a Gatsby Moon hydrangea, which is another oak leaf here, which is blooming as well. And look how closely packed these flowers are compared to like the Gatsby Star or any of the other oak leaves, because they tend to, in my garden, my experience, they tend to have more airy blooms and more open, and that one is really tightly packed. So yeah, interesting. And then there's another hydrangea here. I can't tell you the name now, but I'll label those so I can give you the names going forward. Yeah, and there's another one here. This is one that I believe stays pretty small. This might be the Little Quick Fire or Little Lime Punch or something like that. Yeah, so I'll get those labeled. Yeah, but all the trees, the nut trees, everything has finally slowed down its growth, so that's good. Now these two oak leaf hydrangeas here, I think that one put on one bloom but nothing else, but they're still healthy, so I'm happy. And these two are Gatsby as well, and I can't tell you the exact name. One might be Gatsby Gal, one of the two, I'm not sure which one. And then one is Gatsby Pink, I think. So yeah, those are supposed to get pretty tall. And yeah, these apricot and nectarcot trees finally slowed down. I was trimming those like every week because they were going crazy. The persimmons are beautiful. Oh my, this apple tree, I am so proud of it. This is a Fuji apple tree, this particular one, and something happened to the bark like last season or the beginning of this season, and it had a big gash in it, and I thought the tree was going to die. I wrapped it with a tree wrap, and I pressed comfrey plant leaves because I grow comfrey for like fertilizer. So I wrapped it with the leaves against the gash in the bark, and it healed up. So I don't know if it was the leaves or just because I had it wrapped so stuff wasn't getting in there. You can still see where there was a gash, where the gash was, but it's calloused over, it's healed up, and this thing has started putting on growth, especially since I've wrapped them in the chicken wire, which might not be that attractive, but I'm telling you, these deer were coming over here eating my little trees here. They were eating all the leaves off of them, so they would have died eventually. But yeah, and then I think there's a pear over here and 2 more apples, but I'm gonna label everything so I can tell you exactly what's going on. What else I got? That is needing to be done. Let's see. Start my fall cleanup. This peach has a few on there. I'm not sure what variety this is, but they're nowhere near ready. They're still pretty green. So, yeah. But these Saturn peaches, OMG. They're still hard. So what I may do is I may spray these. I haven't sprayed in at least a month, and I have to spray, otherwise the bugs will destroy them. There's always ants. There's ants crawling on them now. So if I do not spray, and I usually do about once a month on things that I don't want the bugs to get to, like my fruit. So obviously I use a spray that's safe for food, but it's time for me to spray those again. That way, because you don't want to spray them right when you're gonna pick them. Obviously you want time for that stuff to wash off or do whatever it does. So I'm gonna do that this week, and that way I figure it'll be at least a week or two before those are ready, maybe 3 before those are ready to be picked. And this peach tree has bounced back. I wasn't expecting much of this because this one, like I said, got hit with a tree branch falling at least 2 times, and it only had a branch on like one side. It had a couple branches on one side, so it was a mess. And so now I've kind of pruned it where it's looking a little bit more symmetrical, and hopefully next year it'll give me something. Look at that forsythia. That thing is crazy. I mean, those branches are getting tall. All right. So that's pretty much all I am going to be doing for August. Yeah, a lot of weed whacking and pulling weeds where I need to. I'm not sure what this flower is. I'm assuming this is an annual that I planted. I don't know. I guess it could be something else. No idea, but it's really pretty. The heads almost remind me of a hydrangea. I love my hydrangeas the way it's just multiple blooms on the end, but I don't think that's a hydrangea. This is a hydrangea. This is my variegated hydrangea. I have 2 of these, and I believe they are supposed to flower, but they're new. I put those in last year, and they pretty much died back down to the ground, so I thought they were lost, but they have come back. This is one that I don't think I've pointed out before. This is my lemony lace elderberry. It's a proven winners plant, and I like that. I like that green color, and it's a different shape to the leaf. So I'm excited about that one. And then I'm hoping my little maple tree starts to put on some growth by next season. I'm hoping that it does okay. That one I'm a little worried about. This maple is a cotton candy maple, and it seems to be doing okay. It has variegated leaves. Maybe you can't see that, but you see they're pink and green and white streaks. It's very pretty. So I'm looking forward to those getting a lot bigger. They're maples, so they should get pretty tall. But they'll just be nice flanking, I think, the end here. But and there's the other elephant ear. It's getting big too. And as I've said in the prior video, I cleaned out a lot of stuff, a lot of the annuals. Initially I put a lot of annuals in because it was looking pretty barren, pretty bare. Everything had died back down. A lot of the perennials to the ground, and so there wasn't much going on. Or things were really small. So as things have taken off, they've crowded out a lot of the annuals, so I got them out of here. Plus, I wanted good air circulation. I don't want any problems with fungus or anything like that. So here's less than I thought I would have to do actually next week. It's looking like a manageable chunk of chores, and it'll be nice to like I said, get that out of the way, so when it comes time to plant my bulbs in the fall, I will not have so much to do that I feel stressed out or anything like that. The wee whites are going over. They're starting to turn brown. I will not remove any of the heads from my hydrangeas because I think those look pretty, even brown in the winter. They just give some structure to the yard instead of just looking out and seeing brown grass or snow. You know, at least you see something sticking out. Something that looks like a plant. So yeah, I will be leaving all of those. So yeah, that's enough of this mini update. It's going on too long already. All right, I will talk to you next time, and hopefully, yeah, the next front yard tour I do, things will be labeled, and I will have completed moving my little plants around here, and I'll let you see it. All right. Bye bye.